Richard Ramirez, later known as the Night Stalker, was born in El Paso, Texas, in 1960. His childhood was scarred by violence, abuse, and early exposure to death. He idolized his older cousin Miguel, a Vietnam veteran who showed him horrifying photos of women he claimed to have assaulted and killed during the war. By the age of 12, Ramirez had already witnessed his cousin murder his wife in front of him. Those events, mixed with a chaotic home and constant exposure to drugs, shaped a boy into a predator. When Ramirez moved to Los Angeles in the early 1910s, the city was vibrant but vulnerable. He drifted between cheap motels, stealing, using cocaine, and experimenting with Satanism. He grew obsessed with the idea of being an agent of fear. Unlike other killers who followed patterns or targeted specific groups, Ramirez was different. He sought out randomness, because randomness creates panic. His first known murder happened in 1984. A woman named Jenny Vincow, 79, was found brutally stabbed in her own apartment. The crime scene was disturbing, not only because of the violence, but because it showed no clear motive other than cruelty. The Los Angeles police didn't yet know they were at the start of one of the most terrifying manhunts in American history. Ramirez's method was chillingly simple. He would wander the city late at night, often barefoot, looking for open windows or unlocked doors. He believed, in his twisted mind, that if a door was unlocked, he was invited inside. Once inside, no one was safe. Sometimes he used a gun, other times a knife, sometimes just brute force. His victims ranged from children as young as 6 to elderly people in their 80s. This unpredictability terrified the city. People realized that anyone could be next. The media quickly gave him a name, the Night Stalker. He attacked while the city slept, leaving behind bloody crime scenes and satanic symbols. He didn't just kill, he liked to torment. Some survivors recalled him forcing them to swear allegiance to Satan or whispering chilling words while he hurt them. His eyes, dark and hollow, became the most feared image in Los Angeles. By 1985, the terror reached its peak. People rushed to hardware stores to buy locks, alarms, and even guns. Families took turns staying awake at night, watching windows and doors. Newspapers printed his sketch, warning everyone to stay vigilant. Yet Ramirez seemed unstoppable. Striking in one neighborhood one night and miles away the next, he was a phantom, leaving death and chaos behind. The turning point came in the summer of 1985, when investigators from multiple counties realized they were chasing the same man. Fingerprints, shoe prints from his rare Avia sneakers, and stolen car reports began connecting the dots. Yet Ramirez seemed almost supernatural in his ability to escape. One of his most infamous crimes was the attack on the Zazzara family. He killed Vincent Zazzara and brutally assaulted his wife, leaving behind satanic markings on the walls. The brutality shocked even hardened detectives. Ramirez wasn't just murdering. He was making statements, feeding off the fear that spread in the media. But arrogance became his downfall. In August 1988, he tried to steal a car, unaware that his face was now on the cover of every major newspaper. When a woman recognized him and shouted, "El Matador," the killer, chaos erupted. Ramirez tried to run, but the crowd chased him down, beating him until police arrived. Ironically, the city he terrorized was the one that brought him down. His trial was a spectacle, with his long black hair, sinister smile, and frequent references to Satan, Ramirez seemed to enjoy the spotlight. In court, he raised his hand with a pentagram drawn on it and shouted, "Hail Satan!" The media frenzy painted him as both a monster and a strange cult figure. Women wrote him love letters, some even attending his trial dressed in black to show support. In 1989, Ramirez was convicted of 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. The judge called his crimes a cruelty beyond human understanding and sentenced him to death in California's gas chamber. Ramirez responded with chilling words. "Big deal. Death always comes with the territory. See you in Disneyland." For decades, he sat on death row, never showing remorse, often giving disturbing interviews where he spoke about his admiration for evil. He never faced execution. Instead, he died in 2013 at the age of 53 from complications related to cancer. Richard Ramirez remains one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, not because of how many he killed, but because of how he spread fear. His unpredictability, his satanic rituals, and his cold randomness made him not just a murderer, but a legend of terror. The Night Stalker turned Los Angeles into a city that couldn't sleep.